Why don't we why don't we start with if you can just introduce yourself and then yeah, just tell me about you.
Sure. Okay. I, Jen Imoto, officially. I have been in the print industry for, like, I guess, 30 years, we can say.
Yeah.
I started out, my mom worked at a print shop. And so I would go on Thursdays was my early day off of school. So she would pick me up
Hmm.
and I would whatever clean up. But I got to see the whole space and understand what's all involved. And
Yeah.
actually, one of my very first projects was the owner told me that the plant was super important and that I had to clean the plant. And he had this like plastic plant behind him on his shelf. And I was like, okay, well, this is an important plant. I got this. And so I grabbed the plant and I like literally spent like I think I spent more than an hour, like really, because it was dusty, it was gross, and I really cleaned the shit out of this plant and presented it to him, and he was just like, "Okay, well, the plant is like the back where all the people work, so that's the space that I was talking about." I'm like, "Okay, step one, understand the lingo." Um, anyway, so over the years, I moved through, all the different spaces within the shop, and
Yeah.
I got to sit at the back of a dryer, and because it was a screen printing plant, and I took the sheets off and did some quality control. I did shipping, I did finishing. I got to print on some of the printers, which was cool because
Yeah.
the digital presses were coming in, and so I got to
Yeah.
learn about that. And then ultimately, I ended up in graphic design, and I loved it. I think that in the print industry, that's where people want to go. Like that's you go
Hmm.
to school to you're going to work in a print shop
See
if you
the
want to
cool, you
do
get to do the
the
cool
design
stuff
piece. Yeah,
and see it come to life.
exactly. Except I am not creative at all. So if you want me to take a piece of art that needs to go to press, absolutely, I can do that for you. I can put it
Yeah.
in the program it needs. I can rip it and send it. But the design piece is not it's not for me. Anyway, ultimately, I ended up in sales because that's sort of
Yeah.
like that's the progression. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And I did inside sales for a long time, and it's a whole different world from what sales at Sleek was. So
Hmm.
when I was brought into Sleek, I was given all these materials and like marketing pieces that helped me sort of understand why I loved what I did and could share that with people. And so now in sales, I mean, business development, whatever you want to call it, I feel like this is where I was meant to be. Like, this is where I get to meet
That's
people
cool.
and go out and share what I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the story of Jen.
That's amazing. That's a great story. The plant story is awesome. I'm going to use that forever. It's so good.
Oh,
It's
well,
funny when
thanks.
you get into the into the lingo of things you don't understand that some people don't understand what you mean.
Oh, for sure. Especially in marketing, actually. Like when I
Oh
joined
yeah, this.
CMA, the very first event I went to, I don't even remember what it was, but there was so many abbreviations, and I left and was just like, I don't know what just
I don't know
happened
a
in
thing.
there.
Yeah,
I don't know what any of those words were.
that's really funny. It's a good reminder though for us.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
we
I
should
guess
probably
so.
think about like defining the things what they are before we start going into it.
Yeah, I
Like it's a
guess,
really
I
good
mean, I
point.
don't know. There's a few that I knew.
Yeah. Tell me about sleek signs though, because I wanted like part of the reason we're here to chat is I'll learn more about you, but also like from a business perspective, it's almost like a case study in some ways. Sleek signs. Lots of marketers, especially at CMA, this would be true too, that they would have an idea like we need to grow into new markets, expand into new markets. And so Sleek Signs actually did that. And you joined Sleek Signs at a point in time where they had just done that.
Yep.
So maybe give me a bit of background about like when you joined Sleek Signs, just to pick up from your story.
Sure. Okay.
What
Yeah.
had
So,
happened with Sleek Signs and what were they trying to do?
yeah, Sleek is a Regina-based company. They've been around since like 2006, and I know that they tried to move into the Calgary market a few years before we before they actually opened up a shop. And it's hard. Like, it's hard to call from Regina to Calgary and be like, hey, do you want us to do your printing? And Calgary's like, who? Like,
Yeah.
you can't do it. And so I think that they recognized that they needed to have a presence here. Like, the market is huge. Calgary is ever expanding, and there's so much going on. There's lots of big businesses that have a home base here, that it was just sort of the next best step. So they opened their shop. It was January. Well, January is when the shop actually opened, when I started, and they were just kind of like, like, here's who we are and here's what we do, and let's get out there and, see what we can do in Calgary. And it was, like I said, it was amazing. Like, the shop opened and it was this huge blank space with one printer, and it was echoey, and we had a table in the back. And the first thing they did was brand the space. So, like, the whole back of the shop with one tiny printer, and then all this green, like, all the magic that is Sleek. It was like the first thing that happened in there. The printer got wrapped green. Like, it's like, when you're in Sleek, you live it and you breathe it and you love it. Like, I've honestly never worked at a print shop that cares about the company, right? Like, and how can you promote that
Yeah.
when you don't?
It's interesting. I wanted to ask, you mentioned that they tried a couple times before, and maybe it was like a remote kind of point of entry into the market.
Yeah.
Is that what was causing it to be so difficult before, and ultimately why they decided to be here?
It's got to be because you can have one. I think it was just a salesperson. I don't know that they didn't open anything. There was no space where you could say, "Hey, come check us out." It was just a person saying, "Sleek's awesome. Like, give us a try." But, like, I'm born and raised in Calgary, and I love Calgary, and I would want to support local. And so, how do you? It seems just really hard to try to move into a different market when you don't have anything sort of representing that space, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's what it was, and I'm sure it was really hard for the team that was trying to do that.
Yeah.
So
I know there's
yes,
this concept around mental and physical availability I think about a lot. So the idea is, like, you can, with advertising, you build mental availability, like make somebody top of mind, but it needs to be paired a lot of times with physical availability. The idea that it's easy to buy, easy to access, easy to get your hands on, that kind of thing.
yeah, right,
So it's kind of one of those things where you're like, yeah, sometimes you just got to go there.
yeah. And it made all the difference, right? Like,
Yeah.
for me to, like, because that was one of the first questions that people asked me when I said, "Yeah, we're from Sleek," and they're like, "Oh, I've heard of Sleek. That's a Regina company. Do you have a space here?" It's like, it's the first question people want to know. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When you were starting, when it was opening up and you had the sleek background and you wrapped the printer in green and all that kind of stuff, was that something you did fresh for Calgary, or was there an existing playbook that you had that you brought over from Regina, or do you just start creating all this from brand new, from scratch?
Yeah, this is Sleek. Like, so I got to go to Sleek Regina to check it out, and it's exactly the same. It's like, they care about the brand, they care about the company, and they want to promote it within, right? So like, if your staff cares, it's going to be super easy for you to expand and get people to get on board. And yeah, no, this is full on Sleek. The procedures, it had to change. There was no way to keep it exactly the same, but the core, the values, what Sleek is, that didn't change, I don't think, for Calgary at all.
Yeah. It's interesting because I know when we were doing the preamble, you're like, I don't know a ton about marketing, but I'm like, you do, but it's just your lived experience of it is like, as you're talking about this, I'm like, oh, that's that, and that's this, and that's like distinctive brand assets, and,
Oh,
so
okay.
here's another one. DBA, how about that?
Right.
Lingo
I'm
that
writing it down.
probably
Actually.
nobody knows that. Yeah. But it's so funny, like it's such an interesting case study about market expansion, about what you did. So you've got this idea of like physically got to go there. Then you're trying to replicate some of the values of the organization. So there's consistency.
Yeah.
I imagine the branding is the same in
Yep.
Regina as it is here.
Although we
There's
did have to change to sleek signs because in Regina, like sleek's been around for a long time. Everybody knows like the city is branded with sleek, like the bus benches,
oh yeah,
the
yeah,
billboards. It's very sleek centric there. And
yeah.
here, what is sleek? Like you can't just put sleek on the side of the building. So we did.
Right.
We changed to sleek signs in Calgary.
Oh, that's so smart.
It is
But it's
smart.
interesting too because it's like one of those things you're like, that's so obvious, but you wouldn't think of it if you were in Regina
Yeah. Right.
because everybody
Sleek.
knows, like, and so it's a shorthand. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
cool.
so interesting.
Yeah.
So you've got your playbook that you had brought over. There's a bit of the branding and elements and that kind of stuff you're doing. Then you're hitting the ground running, or that's probably when you started. You reaching out, knock on doors. You've got some of the marketing material to support the sales initiatives. It sounds like.
Tons. Like
How
way more than
valuable
double.
was that from a salesperson's or business development point of view? How valuable is that?
It's key. Like it's everything. That I remember the president told me the first thing I had to do was put my face on my email signature, like a picture, and I
Oh,
was like, no, I don't. That's not really what I do. And I had to join LinkedIn. Like he's like, it's great for you. It's great for the company. And I was just like, I like to just be quiet and do my thing and be proud of what I'm doing. And he was like, no, like we're sleek. Like let's be sleek. Let's promote ourselves. And I really didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. And it's amazing. Like it's so helpful to like sort of be like, yeah, I am sleek and I know what I'm doing and I'm going to promote it. And then all the resources that we had on top of it. Like Sleek has this I call it like a brag book, but it's a coffee table book essentially. It's a hardcover, like beautiful book of all the things that we've done. I'm sure lots of people in the city now have them because I hand them out because
hand
I'm
them out
like,
all the time.
check
Yeah.
this out. Like we're awesome. Like here's a folder, a brochure that tells you about who we are and what we do, and here's some samples. Well, everybody has that, but everybody doesn't have this like beautiful book that you would probably feel a little bit crappy throwing out. Right, like it's on the shelf, it's beautiful, and just the access to all of those was huge for me. Like that I can, it's different to just tell you Sleek's awesome, but to actually show you like, check this out, like we are really awesome. That was huge, and it made it easier for me to put my face to it and be like, actually here's what we're doing. And the location actually where they I don't know if, have you been out to the shop? I don't
No,
know that you have. We're on Deerfoot as you head north out of the city on the right hand side. There's
I've
like
seen
a
the
huge,
sign.
yeah, right. Like you've seen the sign, and then Jay, our GM, he's amazing. He puts a bear, like a decal, like a huge, like the full size of the building decal of a bear up once a year to just promote Sleek, like location, like we nailed it. Presence, we nailed it. We just, I think, yeah, we are like a really marketing centric company. Even though I don't know anything about it, they do a good job, right? Like they showed up and we made a splash, I think.
Yeah, it's funny. There's so many things like as you're saying the brand book even or the inspiration book or I don't know what you call it exactly, but the handout essentially you got.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's from a marketing side. I can imagine people going through the whole process around saying, "Oh, well, we got to produce this book," and then somebody saying, "Well, what's the ROI on that?"
Yeah. Right.
Right? And the answer is, I don't know. Because it's a long-term play. It's being used over and over and over again over probably years at this point.
Yeah. And the fact that I'm like really giving it out to a lot of people. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so that it's out there and available. And I mean, you are the distribution channel for that. So maybe can you just talk a little bit about that book a bit more from like an ROI perspective? Like it's from a marketing side, you often don't know what the ROI is on something like that. But from your end,
Yeah.
You've got
Well,
a personal experience with it that's maybe a bit different than what marketers would typically see.
okay. And I'm not just standing on the street corner being like, "Hey, check out Sleek."
No.
Like I'm giving it obviously to people
Yeah,
who I
yeah.
think there's value. And I did have one company that I sent out the book with my letter and like just want to introduce, Sleek signs to you. And I think a year had passed and I never heard anything. And I just called and was like, "Hi, I'm Jen, and I'm from Sleek Signs. And I'm just wondering, if the book that I sent you a year ago had, if you ever received it." She's like, "Yeah, actually, I keep it on my desk. It's really cool." And I was like, "What?" Like, so even if it didn't get me anywhere, like it's top of mind for her. Like, if something comes up that she needs, like it's sitting there. So I don't know, and I don't know how to quantify that. Like, how many people do have that book? How many people just chucked it out? I don't know. How do you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I spent a long time in sales. So I like first half of my career I was in sales, and I always had questions about that too. Like sometimes like you drop something off and the person you were giving to literally for me would throw the stuff right in the garbage. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, right.
Okay, sure. But other times they would keep things. And so I was trying to find ways at the time when I was in sales to make things that were more valuable that they didn't want to just throw out right away.
Yeah, right. Yeah, which I think the book is, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you're not giving it to the right person, there's no value at all.
Yeah, I mean, certainly there's something about it though that makes you want to use it.
Yeah, right. Well, and that's the thing. That like all the assets that I have are like they're important to me. I care about them, and it's easy for me to show them off because I do care about the company and want to succeed.
Yeah. How, how like when you're thinking about chasing new clients today versus chasing clients when you first showed up, it sounds like you guys, as you said, you've been doing some good marketing. How do you, is it maybe hard because you're you and it's hard to remember your own experiences a year and a half ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago, whatever the thing is. But do you find with the extra support that and the history now with Sleek Signs that it's a little bit easier to get in a door for new business?
Oh, totally. Yeah, referrals is everything for me, and so the connections that I've made, and it's connections. It's not like I'm not like searching for a new client. I'm searching for connections, and like CMA is a great example. Like we're joining associations, we're trying to meet as many people as we can, and be able to have someone actually say like, "Oh, I've worked with Jen at Sleek. She's great. You should try her out." And so me having the confidence with all the tools that I had to get out there and meet people has made a big difference in that. I think that it gives other people confidence that they would refer me and have people want to reach out to me. So yeah, the tools were a great first stepping stone, but now we're really focusing on the community piece, like meet people and have those, like real connections rather than just transactional meetings, like where we want to meet people and we want to learn about the city and the different sort of not communities, but what's
Yeah,
the
like
word
niche groups or
for?
something, or
Yeah, that's
yeah.
exactly right. Yeah, like marketing, construction. Like I've joined the Saska. I'll tell you what Saska stands for: Southern Alberta Shopping Center Association.
Oh,
Because you meet people in different spaces that can help you, grow, and you can help them grow, and that's what it's all about. That's what I love. And I think that that's really changed in what sales used to be for me versus what it is at Sleek. Like I've been given the opportunity and the tools to really like get out there and meet people and grow the company just with relationships.
yeah. I think to me, what some of the things that are interesting, what you're saying there is like there's this idea of like sales Sales, I think, a lot of times has a bad rap, but
Yeah.
because you get labeled as like just a used car sales guy kind of thing, right?
Totally.
But I always thought of it especially when I was in it, because I didn't want to think of it like like the bad connotations that come along with it. But if you're doing it right, you can provide, like, you're helping people. You're providing a lot of solutions for people that are helping them, as you said, grow, which in turn is helping you grow. And so there's this like a really cool, different mindset around it. If you haven't been in sales, I think that you kind of understand more. And I think a lot of, on the marketing side of things, like there's something you can lean into with that idea. So it's not just about what's in it for me today. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
you understand there's a long-term relationship in building relationships, and just the same as marketers do. It's not that sales and marketing at opposing ends of that conversation.
Yeah, that's true. And I do, when people ask me, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, "I'm sales." Like, I don't like to say that. I don't know. I think I'd prefer to say I'm business development. It sounds nicer.
Yeah,
I think it's the same. Is it the same?
I think it is.
Okay. Well,
That's just me.
I'm gonna change my business card.
Business development.
Yeah. Sure. I'm gonna let somebody know that.
But marketing is doing the same thing too, though. I mean, marketing and sales are not at opposite ends of the spectrum, is what I mean. But the sales side is maybe closer to the point of conversion, a contract. It's just marketing is not always visible in all that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
So
fair.
we're always working towards a similar goal.
Yeah. Like I'm out marketing Sleek. That is my role.
Yeah. Yeah. When you think about the one thing I'm super interested in, when you think about the sales process, the business development process, let me
Nice.
correct myself. The business development process. Is it often that there's just a single decision maker, or would you say there's groups of people that make a decision for any one business?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say there's groups of people. I would say everybody's involved in that. Certainly at Sleek, we're a team. Like, we're all working towards this, obviously the same goal. We're just going about it in different ways.
And on the buying side?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, okay, so when I go and meet somebody at a company, I'm meeting a marketing person. Are you saying, are they making the decisions?
Yeah, is there a single
Yeah.
decision maker in all choices when it comes to this, or do they have to consult with their own side?
Yeah. So yeah, what I've found is the relationship piece is great. I'm making great relationships, and then ultimately, I'm like, and then here's the price, and then that's where it goes to someone else, because the price, like, as much as the person who I'm speaking to would love to use me, it has to come down to price to a certain degree, right? They're not gonna, and I'm not gonna. They can't just choose the cheapest person, because you know how that goes. It's never
Yeah.
necessarily the right way to go. So they
Pay
have
what
to.
you get for,
Yeah, well, that's
or you
exactly
get what
right.
you pay for. Sorry, reverse that. Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so no, I would say no. It's never just one person. There's a group in behind that they have to satisfy, right? They have to satisfy the needs of the company ultimately.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of decision makers, and depending on the size of the deal too. I imagine maybe that expands.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So part of the reason why I'm asking that is because on the marketing end, there's this idea of, like, on digital advertising specifically, this idea that you get one-to-one advertising, like the perfect, most efficient way to deliver messages to reach the single decision maker with exactly the right message at the right time. Which is kind of like, so there's no waste, and it's all efficiency and all that kind of stuff. But there's very little proof that works really well. And even if it did work, even if you could do that, reach the right person at the right time, there's also this other thing where, even in the description that you were just giving me, of how the sales process actually works, there's often multiple people involved. So which person is it? What time are they making those decisions? What the order is of those decisions? How long are
Yeah.
those, like, if you're trying to be so precise and reach just the person at the right moment in time, there's a very good chance you're going to miss that person.
That sounds
'Cause-
impossible.
Yeah.
That's so scary. That's like a marketing philosophy. All right. That's hard.
Yeah.
I hate that. I'm glad that I don't know that. Like, how are you going
Yeah.
to reach one exact person at the exact right time? How are you going to do that?
This is the thing. It's like when digital first came out, it was kind of that, not kind of, that was the promise of digital. Right message, right person, right time.
All right.
And even now with AI and all that kind of stuff, there's more intelligence, more data, more targeting, more everything. And so the idea is that you can be even better at that than we were before.
But then
But
do you have to send out like 1 million messages a minute to make sure that each person who you were trying to get to see it saw it?
that's the thing. Like, I think what's super interesting about this is you're looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. And but I think a lot of you get in a room with marketers, they're like, no, that's the thing. And so
it.
I think what's really interesting is that it's, from your perspective, like unfathomable,
Yeah.
unfathomable.
Doesn't seem achievable. That's nuts.
Yeah.
To me.
And it's kind of like the holy grail of advertising, if you could, in a lot of ways, from a digital media perspective. So it's interesting that you're sitting there going, no, that's not real.
That makes no sense to me.
And you're the one that's in front of these people all the time.
Yeah,
It's
I guess.
interesting hearing it like from your perspective, because it's in a lot of marketing circles, you would go, no, that's everybody's like kind of, influenced by the same concept that's the holy grail, but it's not really possible in any way. There's no real good evidence behind it, and your own experience is really interesting with that too.
Yeah, that sounds nuts to me. Well, I'm glad I'm not in a circle of marketers right now to have them hear me say all that.
Okay, well, a couple more questions for you. What's one thing you'd tell a business who wants to expand to Calgary? From your experience, are there things you've seen, done, or kind of wish you could redo? If you could go back and tell your younger self what you should have done differently or how you would have done it again?
I think it's to live it. I think it's to like be part of the city. Don't just try to go to the city and be like, hey, check me out. It's like to learn, involve yourself, get into the organizations and the associations so that you can learn more about like what are people looking for. Because if you're not learning it, you're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it is. Okay, and then one other thing, I'm always curious about this. I say this all the time. Like, for the Calgary Marketing Association, the vision is to become a world-class marketing community.
Yeah.
Especially as a self-proclaimed non-marketer, even though I would argue you know a lot more marketing stuff than you let on. Okay. What does world-class marketing community mean to you?
Okay. I guess it's a space where someone like me who doesn't feel like I know marketing can join and be accepted and still have a space, have a place to speak and like be invited to participate. And I mean, that's what the CMA is, right? I came in not knowing what the heck I'm doing, and it was like, well, you're so welcoming, and it brought me in, and I've been meeting great people and learning. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm learning more about marketing and how it can help everybody.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. I hadn't actually ever thought about it like that, as just welcoming, as being part of the world class part. That's really interesting.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
Um, the so there's, I guess, like a few different elements to it for me. I one thing I lean into is just the knowledge part around, like, there's a lot of things that we do in marketing, like we can target everyone and reach only the right person at the right moment in time. Like, there's stuff like that that we repeat, and as a group say often to each other, but never really check to see if it's real. And so like,
Okay.
there's a lot of things in marketing that are like that. And so for me, the world class part is looking for the evidence that supports those ideas or not. And if it's not, then find the evidence that is. So there's the knowledge part side of, like, because that ultimately shapes our view of how advertising works. And so if we're trying to be world class, we should know what the things are that are world
Yeah.
class. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is the community side of it. I would say, similar to what you're saying about being welcoming and inclusive. And like, I often think that we're way more similar than we are different. And it's easy to find the differences between, like, sales and marketing, or creative and media buying, or I don't know, the Facebook manager versus the Google manager. So, like, even though we think about things and the work we do is a bit different, we're ultimately all trying to do the same kind of thing. I think there's more similarity that way.
Yeah.
So just trying to find the similarities to make us stronger together, as opposed to, like, all of us thinking we're individuals
Yeah. Okay.
with their own special, unique needs and isolated issues. So to me, that's it.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah,
It's the community, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And everybody's got, like, a valid point. Like, all the things that we talked about today, I think were awesome. Like, there's so many great things that you brought up, and stories and things to learn from you and other experiences you've had. Thanks for the conversation.
Yeah. Thanks. It was. I had a really good time. It was awesome. Not too.
See, not so painful.
No. I didn't say painful. I said scary.
Okay, yeah, true. Awesome. Well, thanks for doing this, Jen. I really
Yep.
appreciate it.
Thank you.